Hey, business builder. This week's episode of the Business Builder Way was recorded back in 2018. It was remixed, put together in 2022, just now. But this episode features business builder Pete Clare. Pete is the founder of Turkey Trot Acres in Candor, New York. Pete is a friend. Pete is somebody who I've spent a lot of time with. Pete is a creator extraordinaire, always with a new idea, and then he executes. He's got guts. And I really wanted to share this story, even though we recorded it back in 2018. But before we get into the episode, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background. Back in 2018, we were creating Business Builder Camp Turkey Hunt. And so in the spring and May of 2018, we had about 8 business owners all gathered at Pete's Lodge, and we did turkey hunting in the morning, and then we did business build work in the afternoon, masterminding, creating plans, solving problems, and just generally having a great time with lots of great food, etc. But before we had that live camp, a friend of mine, Josh Ott, pastor of Grace Free Church in Cressona, Pennsylvania, and a creator and builder in his own right, joined me. So Josh and I drove up to New York, and what you're about to hear was partially shot in the truck with Josh asking me questions about who Pete is to me, and then it was partially shot in the lodge as I asked questions about how did he create a celebrity hunt with NFL football players and with I can't remember Vern, not Vern. He would say, "Hey Vern." It was Jim Varney from like Ernest Goes to Camp. How did Pete create a celebrity hunt like that? How did Pete and his wife Sherry come together to create their unique brand of hospitality? How did they build a lodge from logs that they went and cut and peeled? How did they expand into some record production and music festivals? And it was such a great conversation. I wanted to share it with all of you. Present day 2022. I hope you enjoy, and just remember, you are a builder. You are a business builder. Keep going. Go get them. Thanks. So this Pete guy that we're going to visit, Pete is the builder, the founder, the creator of Turkey Trot Acres in Candor, New York. Pete's this long-haired, gray-haired, mustached, hippie-ish kind of fellow who, in the way I think about it, he just decided one day that he loves hunting and loves central New York where he lives, and he's gonna go out in the middle of nowhere and carve out his dream life, and him and his wife Sherry have done it. Man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Come on in.
He's hosted hunters like Ernest Goes to Camp. NFL players have come to Turkey Trot. The guys who are on the board of directors from the National Wild Turkey Federation have come there, like throwback retro hunts for people that want to come and wear old-fashioned duds and go out in the woods with an old fowling shotgun and hunt turkeys. So Pete just has there's no limits on Pete. Pete is all imagination, and when him and Sherry get an idea, they do it. They want to have a lodge, they go out and cut logs and get a permit from the state, cut logs and build a lodge. They want to have NFL players, they do it. And so Pete, it was just the perfect person for me to create an event with. I thought, who would I want to take people creatively building businesses and creating lives? Where would I want to take them for a combination hunt mastermind? And Pete was just the automatic choice. It's always been a super experience to hunt, but also really just the camaraderie and the fellowship that they've created in this cabin.
People say, God, that guy's got balls. Well, I got balls. I just have confidence. I think I believe in something, whether it be the peace tree now, or the brick oven, or the turkey hunting 30 years ago.
Welcome to the Business Builder Way podcast, where we help business builders grow leadership skills and wisdom and stay grounded through business builder hero stories. So let's get after it.
Wayne Herring, and I'm here with Pete Clare, who is the owner and the builder of Turkey Trot Acres. This is where we're going to do our business builder event in spring, and so my friend Josh Ott and I took a ride up here. It's still snowy outside, but it won't be long. The snow will be gone. And Pete, yeah, it'd be great if you would just tell us a bit, like, how did this place come to be? How did you build this place?
Well, it's good to have you back, Wayne. You and your family have been here. I know you and your dad at least 2 times, maybe 3 over the years, and you came with your family one time, and now you're here for a different reason, and that's what's cool about Turkey Trot. We are a hunting lodge, but our hunting seasons are pretty much limited to, the month of May and then a little bit in the fall. So my wife and I, Sherry, realized that you can't just own a place like this and work a month or 2 out of the year. So going back to 1987, when we first proclaimed our guide shack as Turkey Trot Acres, as brief as I can be, it started on a trip to Virginia, Hot Springs, Virginia, way out on the western part of Virginia, West Virginia border. And to make a long story short, we went turkey hunting. I think it was the spring of '86, and I found out one thing, and it almost put me in jail, that a blotch of white paint on a tree is a posted sign there. I was amongst 18 million acres of George Washington National Forest, but I parked my truck where it was a blotch of white paint that somebody else. And well, after getting through that ordeal on the way home, I got thinking, I just wonder how many other people want to go on these hunting trips and get into all sorts of mischief because they just don't know. So we created Turkey Trot Acres with a guide shack. It was a wood stove and an outhouse. Yeah. And in '87 we had 6 or 7 hunters. In '88 we had 10 or 12 hunters, and by '89 that wasn't going to work anymore. So we begged, borrowed, mortgaged, stole, whatever we had to do to start building this joint. And then we opened this in May of 1990. So to make a long story short, spring and fall, I believe we're getting ready to start our 63rd turkey season. Oh, wow. 63 seasons. One of the most wonderful things that I've always said is the friendships and the people that I have met, my wife and I, and all our guides have met over the years that otherwise we wouldn't have met, whether, any other way. And in this world, it was through the hunting community. Yeah. It could be many different ways to meet people, but it's just been a long, strange trip, and we've enjoyed every bit of it. Everybody that knew me and my wife thought we were nuts. What are you talking about? That guy's nuts. He's building a hunting lodge in upstate New York. What's he think he is? And well, we just kept persevering and believing, and kept following along with what our plan was to provide quality hunting, lodging, and dining for people that came here. And that's how we started out. And then I started meeting some industry people through like Quaker Boy, or Bill Jordan was one of the early guys that came here from Realtree. And I said, well, let's do a celebrity hunt. So the next thing you know, from 1994 to 2002, 8 years, we brought, as you see the pictures on the wall, Michael Strahan, was on and on. I could go Jim Varney, Ernest Goes to Turkey Trot. Yeah. And we made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and it all went to 2 things. It went to our community for the kids. Yeah. We rebuilt a little league field here that was literally chicken wire and barn boards. Yeah. And now it's a first-class little league field. We put a timber frame gazebo in town, and there's signs that proclaim that Hunter's Dollars did this. And, that's cool. The people that really cared, the landowners, saw what we were doing, and it just worked for us.
So you just mentioned how you got this dream and idea that you were going to do a celebrity hunt, which in a small town in New York was crazy, and people said you can't have a lodge, you can't do that. So how did you push through that resistance of people saying it's crazy, and how did you make that happen?
We got involved with the Chamber of Commerce at the little village of Candor. Just started this Chamber of Commerce, and I just had this idea, what a way to kick things off. How would you like to be the beneficiaries of this event? Help us put it together. And wow, I mean, it was just a huge, the 3-day weekend was involved. They'd get here Thursday, we'd have a welcome party. We'd hunt Friday. Friday night there was a big huge auction at the fire station. They'd pull all the fire trucks out. We'd have all these art prints and all the celebrities down there. 500 people there. Saturday morning we'd hunt. Saturday afternoon we had a golf tournament. And before you know it, the weekend was over on Sunday, and you might have slept 6 hours if you were lucky. But every year the community couldn't wait. Who's going to come this year? So it
Gotcha.
really drew in people.
How did you find those people in the days before social media and internet? How do you find
You know,
celebrities?
I
to
wonder
come there?
about that. How did I do that? And that's a very good question, because without the internet and emails and Facebook, how did I do that? It started out with knowing some of the industry players through Quaker Boy, and then they knew some of the Buffalo Bills, and then the first year we'd have only 4 or 5, and then but those celebrities, if you want to call them that, celebrities, knew somebody that hunted, and
I gotcha.
so the word spread, and before you know it, we were getting a waiting list of people. They would be calling me, and if they were outdoors folks and they liked the turkey hunt, this was the place to be.
So this table is where I expect that some of our guys will want to gather, and there'll be some stories shared and
Jeez.
things.
I can't even begin to tell you the wheels and the deals and that have happened around this table.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just watched, you know, whether it's doing business with one guy to another guy, or it's just been the focal point, because there's always good food out here. We have Amish-made cheese and venison salami or bologna, and it's just a place to hang out. Cocktail hour is a big deal here.
Yeah.
This is where the cocktails are flowing. And cocktail hour here is a state of mind. It doesn't mean you have to have alcohol.
Yeah.
You can do it with a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But you'll find, and you know from hunting here in the spring, we can only hunt till noon. At 1 o'clock after lunch, this place is like a morgue.
Yeah.
The
Nap
bedrooms
time.
are sleeping. It's very quiet. But about 3:30, 4 o'clock, everybody's up, take a shower. You got a whole new attitude.
Yeah.
A whole new day is starting, basically. But you know, every individual is different, and everybody has their own pace. And all I know, and I don't know, people have said we have magic dust here. We call it whatever you want. The place is just conducive to doing business.
Yeah,
And relaxing, and any, I don't know why, but it is.
And I think everybody needs that. Everybody needs some space, and it's a place where people can get away. Last year we did I told you we rented a house in Gettysburg.
I saw your
And
video.
we had good food, and we had business owners all gathered around a big table, not unlike the table back there.
Sure.
We didn't have hunting, and we didn't have the outdoor feel of this
Right,
place.
right,
And
I
that
saw
was
it.
magic. So my hope in creating this event is that we get that magic and the magic of those people, plus your magic and the things we do here. And I think it'll be, what is that, double magic or magic squared
Yeah.
or something like that. I think the last thing I wanted to ask you that is really fascinating to me, and I was telling Josh about this on the way here, you did things like celebrity hunts, and you do things like, well, we're just going to do this thing, and we take a leap, and you and
we
Sherry
constantly
make it happen. And evolve
and
and
reinventing
change.
ourselves is the word you might want to call
Yeah,
it.
reinvent.
Constantly, whether it's going into the music business or different food things that we're doing all the time. We've recorded 2 major league, DVD live concert performance by world class bands from the '70s here. Just something I wanted to do. These are my favorite bands, Commander Cody and the New Riders of the Purple Sage. I mean, these guys sold millions of albums, and we've had them both here many times. We've filmed them.
Yeah.
That's just something my personal thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands here, so why not?
Yeah.
And lately, the newest thing we're doing is Carmela,
Yeah.
which is my grandmother, and I got this crazy idea. I wanted a wood-fired pizza oven. And Stevie LaCorchik, I can still, one of my guys, my best friends,
Yeah.
said to me, and he's a Pennsylvania coal miner all the way. Here's his man attitude.
I know Steve. Yep.
He was your guy.
Yep.
Do you realize how many pizzas you have to sell to get the $8,000 you spent on that oven back? That was his. That's the way $8,000. You know how many pizzas you got to make? And I just shook my head. I said, it's not about how many pizzas. It's about entertaining people. And as soon as Carmela came out of the scene and we figured out how to make pizzas in 90 seconds, it just changed everything here. Just another reason to come and enjoy. And of course now we're, because of the response that I saw from being the only wood-fired oven in Tioga County, when we do a party here, if 100 people walk up those steps, 25 of them are in a trance. 75 walk right by and they're going to the bar, they're going somewhere, and they're going to eat what comes out of there, but they don't really care where it came from. The foodies, if you're a foodie or you're a foodie, you're going to be, and it's a new experience. And that's always what we're looking for, just new experiences. And there's something about watching that pizza go in and come out in 90 seconds, then handing it to them. It's just, that's the kind of stuff we live for, is new experiences.
Got it.
And one of the last things I just want to say that I can say, from 32 years of doing this is and talking to people this time of year. Everybody in life needs something to look forward to. I don't care if it's your wife's birthday or your daughter's graduation, whether it's 2 weeks away or 2 years away, something to look forward to. And I guarantee you a trip to Turkey out with your people, once they maybe see this video or they do a little looking around, they're gonna be excited and they're gonna have something to look forward to. And then pretty soon it's like 2 more weeks, 2 more days.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I hear that all the time.
I was excited just to come take a
But that's what I'm
ride up
saying,
here to
right?
be with
I
you
could tell
today.
you were, and
Yeah.
I don't know how that's part of that magic dust. I think I was telling you. I don't know how that happened and why it happened, but don't be afraid to take chances. That's one thing I have never, people say, God, that guy's got balls. Well, I got balls. I just have confidence. I think I believe in something, whether it be the peace tree now, or the brick oven, or the turkey hunting 30 years ago. I don't know. You find something that nobody else is doing,
Right.
and if you do it right, you'll probably do fine with it.
And so we were talking right before we got started too about you could have stayed a teacher and you could have stayed and you would have had a nice retirement, but you have so many memories and so many other people you've impacted.
I taught
really
school for
cool.
10 years, taught elementary school, coached football, did everything I wanted to do while I was out of college, but there was something about those 4 walls that was closing me in and something was pulling me in. I didn't know what it was, but I guess it was, it was this. I don't know where I was going, but this is where we ended up, kind of a deal.
So hey, if you're a business owner, if you're a guy, and if you're working to build that business, and you're also working to build a family and build a life, and you want something to look forward to, that's what we're working to create here. I like the way that Pete phrased that. If you're looking for something to look forward to, a hunt, a time in the New York State wilds and in the Turkey Lodge here, then go ahead and sign up for Business Builder Camp Turkey Hunt. We'd love to have you. There's an application form that you can find on the webpage. And it's going to be a good time. We gather up here May 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. If you don't hunt, that's okay. We have an option where you can hang out in the lodge and you can relax and sleep in if you like, and sit out on the couch. And by that time it'll probably be warm. Sit out on the porch. It's a good place to just let things kind of settle in. We'll work in the afternoon. But if you do hunt, that'll be a great time too. There's lots of turkeys. There's turkey guides here. You'll be out in the woods with a different business owner every day. We'd love to have
We're
you.
going to mix it up a little bit, let everybody share the experience, amongst each other, really.
Pete, thanks for having us.
Oh, wait, I'm
Appreciate
looking forward to it. You got me excited. I get excited about all this kind of stuff anyway, but I always like doing something different.
You're not easily excited, right?
No, I am. Oh, well, no, you can tell I'm very easily excited.
Good. Come on out.
Thank you for tuning into the Business Builder Way podcast. If this episode spoke to you, click that subscribe button and share it with a friend. That's how this message gets out into the world. If it is helpful for us to have a short conversation, I'd love to do that. Send me an email at wayne@businessbuildercamp.com.